got him. Woo-hoo-hoo!
G'day Daiwa fans, Tom Slater here, back from Afta 2022. That's right, we're back. We haven't been here for a few years and we've got all our new gear to talk about. We've got a public day at Afta this year on the Saturday the 6th of August from 10 AM to 3 PM. If you're local to the Gold Coast or Brisbane area, make sure you come down to the convention centre. Enter Afta, you can check out all the new Daiwa gear, all our new products. You can win some great prizes. We've got some awesome activations like our BaitJunkieCatch. You can take your picture with your BaitJunkieCatch. We've got your favourite species from bream, dolphin fish, giant trevally, barramundi. Upload your photo to Instagram using the hashtag BaitJunkieCatch to win some awesome prizes. We've got a lot of activations on the day, so make sure you come down and check it out. For those that are watching this video that can't be at Afta, we've got 3 giveaways throughout this video, so stay tuned because you don't want to miss it. To start with, I'm going to give you a quick run through of the stand and then we'll talk about all the new products for 2022. So of course, the last time we were at Afta was 2019 and that was before the introduction of the BaitJunkie product range. So first time to display the full range of BaitJunkies at Afta 2022. We've got all the soft plastics up on the wall and a little sneak peek, some jig heads, which is going to be really cool. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Our lure range at Daiwa has really expanded since the last time we were here at Afta. So we've got the full new range of double clutches, including the 115s and the 48s. We've got new colours in almost every range of lures, including a new soft vibe, the Steez soft shell, which we'll talk about in a little bit. The highlight of the stand, in my opinion, the rod wall. We've got over 400 Daiwa rods on display, everything from light tackle, brim and trout stuff, through to deep drop rods, surf rods, GT popping rods. We've got almost the whole range on display and it's really eye-catching, so make sure we've got plenty of new models to talk about a bit later. Our apparel range, of course, we've got the shirts and hoodies and hats on display. We've also got the brand new Angler UPF Pants. They're an awesome fishing pant. We've got our rain suit, which was really popular last year. We'll keep walking down this way. Another activation for the public day on Saturday is the DYFC lure painting zone. So if you bring your kids to Afta, they can come to the stand, grab a blank lure, colour it in, they can take a picture and upload that to Instagram for a chance to win a great prize and a keepsake memento of the lure that they painted at the stand. So we've got DYFC activation, more rods of course, we've got new Infeet models, our D-Box tackle storage system, new tackle storage system including an awesome jig head storage case which we'll talk about in a little bit. More rods of course, our reel stand including all our Baitcast, overhead, electrics, new spin reels, we've got the new Exist, of course we've got Saltigas on display, almost our entire range of reels is on display, so we've got some new models to talk about in a little bit. Accessory wall, of course we've got our fish bags which have been super popular. We've got all our new accessories including some new reel covers, new luggage items. We've got our backpacks and stuff which we've got here. TV playing some great videos which I'm sure you'll love on the YouTube channel. We've got J-Braid of course, one of our most popular lines at Daiwa. Got all our braid on display. We've got some new Saltiga leader and of course the new J-Thread crosslink which we'll talk about in a little bit. That's the run through of the stand, but for now let's get into the new product and I've got a brand new reel to show you, the Maverick MQ.
mine, fish on mine. Yep, yep. That's very good. Really good. Now I'm wondering.
Yeah, he's a solid 15 here.
Oh yeah, easy. Definitely my best for the trip so far. Maybe yeah, nudging 15, good solid 15 kilos. Away he goes. Stoked. Let's get some more. Get him, Braden.
Alright, so you just saw the guys fishing in New Zealand with the brand new Maverick MQ. Now this is a really exciting reel and one that I've been working on a long time, the last couple of years. So Maverick, a name you'd be familiar with from if you were a Daiwa fan back in the day, from the Saltiga Maverick days. We've taken that heritage and built a new reel in Maverick MQ. The best feature of the new Maverick is the gear set inside this body. It's running a G1 Duralumin drive gear setup, exactly the same as what you'd find in Saltiga and Certate SW. Really, really strong gear inside our monocoque body frame. So super rigid, super powerful reel, incredibly smooth and awesome for fishing GTs, kingfish, jigging. If it's a heavy tackle style of fishing you do with a spin reel, the Maverick is going to be the perfect reel for it. Of course, we've got all our other Daiwa features, including a mag seal body under the rotor here, and we've got a mag seal ball bearing installed in the line roller. One piece air bail, of course, carbon ATD drag, aluminium round knob, and of course, as I said, monocoque body, full alloy construction with a Zion air rotor. So you get a super smooth and powerful retrieve with that G1 gear. Absolutely going to be a game changer for the guys that want a more affordable option to chase GTs, kingfish. Maverick MQ is going to be awesome. Now you can win one of these tonight by watching this video and commenting in the comments below what species you would like to catch with a Maverick. Now Mavericks come in a size range from 8,000 up to a 20,000. So these are a big, heavy tackle saltwater spin reel to chase the big predators that we love fishing for in Australia. Maverick MQ, absolutely awesome. Really happy to have this on the market. This is something we've designed for Australia from us ourselves. You won't find Maverick anywhere else in the world. So that's Maverick. We've got another new reel to talk about next. That's the Freeswimmer Bite and Run. So stay tuned, we've got a video for that one and we'll come back straight after that.
Fish on. Love those slow bites.
Alright, so a brand new reel for Daiwa, the Freeswimmer Bite and Run. You saw the guys fishing in New Zealand, catching some awesome snapper, and this is something I'm really proud of and we've been working on for a long time. This has been a bit of a joint project for Daiwa Australia, between Australia our colleagues in the US and our engineers in Japan to make a saltwater bite and run reel for live bait or dead bait fishing with the clutch system to allow fish to easily take baits under light pressure, which is awesome for our snapper fishing. Anything where you've got a fish that's timid biting that bites alive or a dead bait, Freeswimmer is going to be perfect. As I said, really designed for saltwater. It's been built for the Australian and New Zealand markets specifically. We've got a 8,000 or a 10,000 Freeswimmer available. Of course, the bite and run feature, so you've got an easy bite and run clutch. When the fish is taking line, you can wind the handle, it will engage the normal drag, and then you're under normal drag conditions. So you saw the guys fishing in New Zealand, letting the snapper take the bait, cranking over to engage the drag, striking and setting the hook. As I said, designed for salt water, so we've got internal seals throughout, a really rigid composite body, really strong design, kept it nice and lightweight so you can hold onto it all day. But we've really carefully sealed the reel, especially in a bite and run reel where you've got a lot of moving parts in the body. You want to make sure the body is really well sealed, so that was one thing we paid close attention to. Of course, we've got our air rotor design, our ATD carbon drag, a really nice EVA ball knob on the Freeswimmer, 8 and 10,000 sizes, as I said. So if you're into your snapper fishing or your Malloway, things like that, new Freeswimmer bite and run is going to be absolutely perfect for that. The next new reel we're going to talk about is the brand new 22 Exist, and we've got another video which will run now. So you just saw Braden fishing the new 22 Exist. Of course, this came out earlier this year, but we thought we'd cover it off because not many people have seen some sizes like the 5000, which I'm holding here, which is really awesome with the aluminium round knob. So Exist, of course, is our flagship light tackle spin reel. It's the debut of air drive design. These have been flying out as soon as we can get some from Japan. They fly out of the warehouse into the shops, and they've been extremely popular. That air drive design system, of course, it's the 4 parts: air drive rotor, air drive bail, air drive spool, and air drive shaft. Creates an incredibly light and smooth rotation. We're looking for the lowest inertia possible, and that's what we've achieved with the new air drive system. Exist, of course, looks absolutely stunning. Screwless design, so you can't see any visible screws on the outside of the reel. Looks absolutely sensational, and has been a really awesome reel for those that have been lucky enough to put their hands on one of the new Exists. So that 5000 is going to be an absolute winner for a new snapper reel for me, I think. We've got another new spin reel, which we'll talk about down here. We've got the new Presso LT. So Presso fans, rejoice, the Presso reel is back in Australia and it's a new model. Monocoque ion body, of course our one-piece body, which gives us a bigger drive gear, a smoother rotation. Presso is obviously designed for trout fishing, so it's one of the smoothest reels we produce a dive where it's just absolutely effortless to turn the reel. Super shallow spool on the 2000, so it's a 2000 double SP, P meaning slow gear ratio. So when guys are trout spinning, a lot of the time they want that super slow retrieve if they're fishing a spinner or a small minnow, and that P ratio gives you that really slow retrieve. Super shallow, so if you're fishing straight through fluoro in 2 or 3 pound, fishing the streams of really light braid, plenty of line holds on there and you get that finesse drag, which gives you that control for the really light line. Presso LT, only the one model, 2000 double SP, absolutely wicked reel, looks sensational, matches up with a new Presso rod, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Next reel we're going to talk about, switch gears quite a bit. We've got a brand new Dendoh reel, the Tanacom 1200. And we've got a clip of the guys deep dropping in New Zealand, which will roll for you right now.
Man, this new Tanacom 1200 is so much quieter than the old models. Oh, even 12 kilo kingfish. Beautiful. Here we go. Now, woo, we let the Tanacom do the work. Gemfish.
Okay, so it's not very often that we bring out a new Dendoh reel, and I'm holding here the brand new Tanacom 1200. So fully redesigned Tanacom obviously looks very different to the last model. Looks kind of like a baby marine power, which is what we kind of aimed for. This is another one that has been a bit of a joint program between Australia, our guys in New Zealand, engineers in Japan, and the guys in the US. So really important reel for us. We use Tanacoms a lot in Australia, a lot of deep drop fishing, very popular here. And so we wanted to make sure that when we did the new Tanacom that we did it justice. So total redesign, as I've mentioned. We've moved the motor inside the spool now, which gives us the ability to run a planetary gear set to do more direct drive. We've redesigned the whole gear side of the reel, very similarly to what we did when we did 20 Saltiga. So if you remember from that, we made the gears bigger, we made the gears thicker, made the teeth bigger. We've done the same kind of engineering work inside the Tanacom gear set. That's given the reel a lot more power. By moving the spool, the motor inside the spool, it's also made the spool larger diameter, which gives us faster pickup. So what we've done in both of those things is we've made the reel faster, so you can bring your baits and fish up faster from the depths, but we've also made the reel much more powerful. By moving the motor, giving that direct drive, and redesigning the gear set, we've made the reel more powerful. So we've given you the best of both worlds, making it faster and more powerful. New LCD screen on the top, including a new menu system, super easy to set up, really simple to spool up, start fishing, start deep dropping. We've got the nice metal pull knob, our fall speed control. The new reel falls faster, so you can drop baits quicker to the bottom. You get a much more vertical drop on your line, so that's been improved as well. Overall, a much improved reel, as I said, much faster, 140 meters per minute line retrieve speed. 25 kilos of drag, absolutely awesome new Tanacom 1200. That's going to be an absolute game changer for the guys that love deep dropping, and we've got some new rods to pair up with that, which we'll talk about in a little bit. That's it for Tanacom. We've got a new surf reel now that we'll talk about, the new Sensor Surf 45.
Here we go. Whoa! Wow, what a bite. Yeah, how freaking awesome is that? At least a 40 centimetre snapper. That is so good. Sweet! That is so good.
Sensor Surf, what an amazing reel. Fantastic.
Okay, so you just saw our fishing guide Alex Bellissimo fish the new Sensor Surf 45, long stroke surf casting reel designed for the longest distance casting you can do. That long stroke spool gives you that extra distance. Our long cast ABS spool design, the lip design on the spool, gives you that more long distance casting when you pair it up with one of our surf rods. You saw Alex fishing off the stones there, casting out to the reefs to catch snapper off the beach, which is something really cool that we do in Sydney. So Sensor Surf 45, of course we have the cross cast which came out a few years ago. This is kind of the upgraded model. It features the tubular air bail system. It's mag sealed in the rotor. We've got things like ATD carbon drags. Absolutely gorgeous little surf reel. If you're into distance casting off the beach, like what you saw Alex doing, you can pick up one of the new Sensor Surf 45s and one of our plethora of surf rods and get out there and get casting. Last of the new reels for tonight is the brand new Infeet X, and we'll roll a clip now of me fishing down in Malakuta. That's a brink. Wow. Okay, so you just saw a little clip from down in Malakuta earlier this year with the first prototypes of the new Infeet X spinning reel. So Infeet, obviously one of my favourite product lines here at Daiwa. We've got the rods, we've got all the new lures. Now we've got a matching reel. Of course, has to be that white, blue and red cosmetic. Absolutely stunning. I love white bodied reels. They're some of my favourite from the old school Daiwa range. So I had to have a white reel in our range in Australia again. So Infeet X comes in two models, the 2000 SP, which is the slow ratio shallow spool of course, gives you that finesse drag, ATD tournament drag of course, gives you the finesse capability with that shallow spool. So the 2000 size is a P ratio, as I said. That's going to be my crankbait reel of choice, throwing rolling cranks or spike 44s. That slow retrieve, perfect for fishing straight through fluoro on one of the Infeet crankbait rods. There's also a 2500S, which is a standard speed reel. That's a 5.2 ratio. That's going to be my choice for fishing soft plastics like the BaitJunkie range, where you want a little bit faster pickup, where you're getting bites on a slack line. You can couple of cranks with a faster ratio, set the hook and get into it. So Infeet X features our Zion V body and rotor construction. Of course, it's mag sealed with our air bail system. Just an absolutely fantastic little reel. Not super expensive either, so you can grab an Infeet, match it up with one of the rods that you already know and love, and get out there amongst it. That's all the new reels that we're going to talk about tonight. Remember, we've got the giveaway for the Maverick MQ. Comment below what species you'd like to target with the new Maverick. You can win one of those. Awesome little prize. Now we're going to get stuck into the rod category. You can see behind me, we've got over 400 rods on display, including some new models, including the new TD Battler, which you're going to see in action right now. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you are really excited about what you just saw, which is a brand new TD battler range. Now this has been a pet project of mine the last few years here at Daiwa Australia. I wanted to make sure when we brought out a new TD battler that it was absolutely the best rod we can make. That starts with the blank, and this uses a brand new SVF Compile X Nano Plus. Now that's the first time we've used that graphite in the rod in Australia. Makes it incredibly sensitive, incredibly lightweight. Of course, TD Battler is AGS guides, full AGS guides of our new Gen 2 versions. You can tell that by the new anti-tangle shape and the silver ring on the larger sized guides, even lighter than Gen 1 AGS that was on the previous TD Battler series. So we've made them even lighter, we've improved the strength of the frames, absolutely awesome guide train, full AGS to the tip, which is a Fuji titanium silicon tip. Now TD Battler also features, for the Daiwa enthusiasts of old, pays homage to the old air beam reel seat, but we've updated it with air sensor technology. So the old air beam reel seats had that clear translucent finish, absolutely looks amazing, updated to air sensor to be a little bit lighter weight than those previous versions. TD Battler comes in a full lineup of spin and baitcast, and in this video you can actually win one of the new TD Battlers by commenting down below what's your dream location to fish with one of the new TD Battlers, and you can win one by putting your comment down below. As I said, full lineup of models. We've got a plethora of spin models and baitcast models, including some swim bait rods. We've even got a squid dedicated rod, the Stoist model for those eggy fishermen. So make sure you check out the TD Battler when they hit stores. Really, really excited to have a new TD Battler flagship range. It's not very often we get a new flagship rod range, and I'm sure you're going to be impressed. Remember to comment down below for your chance to win one of these, and we'll do a quick recap of the new TD Zero rods with Braden fishing at Lostock Dam for a few bass.
Oh, that could have been a little nib then. Also, what it's typically known for are big bass, and there are some thick boys in here. Boy, he caught me off guard. I'll probably get a couple of baits out, put them on, cycle through them pretty quickly and just see what I can get a bite on. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. That Steez cover chat up. Just the thickness in his shoulders. These fish are in really good condition.
Okay, so everyone's seen the new TD Zeros. They're actually in stores now, but I thought I'd do a really quick recap for those that haven't seen them. Absolutely awesome range of rods, one of our most popular in the Daiwa range. Very different to the old model. The old model was the full silver, a little bit more dulled down cosmetic, but we've amped up the technology in this rod. So we've got our X45X full shield that runs up halfway on the blank. That stiffens up that bottom section, resists it to twisting, gives you a longer casting rod, a more sensitive rod. Zeros have the hybrid guide train. Remember to look for the black bindings is stainless steel SIC guide. So in this rod it has three stainless steel models. So when you see the gunmetal bindings, that indicates a Fuji titanium silicon guide. Now not many rods at the market at this price use Fuji titanium SIC, so we've got 5 on this model plus the tip. Lightens up the tip of that rod, makes it really responsive and sensitive. Really great feature of the new Zeros. Of course we've got our air sensor reel seat technology, again upgrade from the last model, bit lighter weight, bit more comfortable. Of course, Zeros have a really big range of both spin and baitcast models. They're some of my favourite in the range. Love them for my bass fishing, especially this model, 742 LXS. Awesome plastics rod for Glenbourne and St Clair. Throw little bait junkies around. That's the Zeros. Make sure you pick them up if you come to an Afta trade show or you're in your local dealer. They're in stores now, so don't miss them. New Zeros. The next one, we've got some new Infeet additions, so we'll walk down and have a look now. Now we've got some new models in existing Infeet ranges. We've got 2 new models in the standard range. We've got a 7'5" LFS, really awesome rod for throwing slippery dogs off the top. So guys that are walking the banks, throwing the slippery dogs, chasing whiting on surface, this one's going to be the go-to. Really great for throwing the 60 or that 80 mil slippery dog. 752 LFS. We've also got a new model 702 ULFS, so ultralight fast action. This is going to be a perfect rod for fishing super lightweighted plastics, even unweighted plastics or tiny hard bodies like our Infeet Kadachi. Really soft rod, really awesome for light line enthusiasts. Probably one of the lightest rods in the Daiwa range that we make in terms of its power. Really fun rod to fish with. Enjoyed fishing that one in Gippsland this year. Caught some big black brim on it. That's the Infeet 702 ULFS, so 2 new models in that Infeet range. We've also got 2 new models in the Infeet Z range, which are probably some of my favourite rods in the whole series. So we've got 712 LFS, probably my favourite soft plastic rod in the Infeet range. Absolutely awesome rod for fishing soft plastics in the 1/30th ounce range up to about a 1/8 plastic. 7'1" butt joint, of course. Infeet Z's very similar to the Zero range we just spoke about. Stainless steel Fuji silicon guides on the butt. We've got titanium silicons going up to the tip, indicated by the red or the orange or the white bindings there. 712 LFS. We've also got a new model in the Z's, which is the 732 ULFS. So 7'3", again butt jointed. This is a little bit lighter rod. One of my favourites for fishing, again light soft plastics or even blade lures. Absolutely love it for fishing a blade. A little bit more parabolic than the 712, a little bit less power in the butt section. Obviously being a ULFS, a little bit softer there. It's going to be awesome for fishing that lighter plastic, fishing open water flats. I love fishing that rod over the Pittwater flats in the Hawkesbury River. Used that in the Australian Open this year. That was a really good rod. That's the Infeet Z range. We've got we've got Infeet Baitcast rods this year, which is really exciting for us. So in the Z series, we've got 2 Baitcast models now. We've got one fast, one regular. Fast is a 732 LFB. This is a really awesome rod for fishing small blades for estuary perch, brim, that kind of thing. Works really good to fish cranker crabs. One of my favourite rods to fish a cranker crab on. We've also got a 702 LRB, so a little bit softer action. Really good crankbait rod, spike 53s, spike 44s. Pair it up with something like a Steez CT, Alphas, something like that. Even the new Tatula SV70 TW. Really wicked little light, ultralight baitcast setup for fishing brim, estuary perch, bass in the rivers. Infeet Z baitcasters are new. We've also got Infeet EX baitcasters. So the next model up in the series, of course, you get a little bit higher end graphite using the SVF graphite in the EX range. Again, one fast action, one slow action in the Infeet EX baitcasters, but they're flipped around. So we've got a 702 LFB. Again, that's the faster action. Going to be perfect for blades, soft plastics, cranker crabs, that kind of thing. Absolutely love that rod. That's got the air sensor double trigger reel seat, super comfortable. And then we've got the 722 LRB. So again, this is your crankbait rod, spikes, that kind of thing. Absolutely awesome little additions to the Infeet range. Super light baitcast is not something you see very often in Australia. Really excited to have 4 options now in the Infeet range, and I think these are going to be really well accepted by the light tackle fishing community. Now that's not it for Infeets. We've also got a whole new series of Infeets called the SK. Now, people in Australia absolutely love the skeleton Fuji reel seat, and we knew from the get-go when we did Infeet that we wanted to add a skeleton option to the range. So Infeet SK sits between the Z and the EX series in terms of price, has our HVF Nano Plus graphite technology, but it's using another hybrid guide train, but this time we're using a single Fuji titanium stripper guide in silicon carbide, and then AGS Gen 2, same as what's on the new Battlers, all the way through the tip. So the single binding on the stripper guide here indicates the action. Of course, Infeets are color coded. Red is fast action, blue is slow action. So we've got stripper guide binding there in red, indicating a fast action, gunmetal binding colors on the AGS guides all the way through to a Fuji titanium tip guide. So SK has 4 models in the range. There's 2 regular tapers, 2 fast tapers. Some of my favorite models. We've got that 732 ULFS in this range as well. Awesome soft plastics rod, blade rod. We've also got a really good 6'10" LFS. Makes a really good structure rod. That's what I fish a lot in the harbour at the moment, throwing risky critters around the pontoons and the jetties, chasing bream. Awesome new range Infeet SK. They're going to be in shops a little bit later this year. And then to finish up with Infeet, we've got the new flagship of the Infeet range. Now this is a little bit of a pet project of one of our anglers, Mark Crompton. He spoke to me a few years ago and said, Tom, I want a rod for fishing really light soft plastics on the flats down in places like St George's Basin. And I built him the Infeet Limited AGS. Now it's a single rod in this series and it won't be around forever. So make sure if you're interested in one of them, you pick one up when you see it. This is built very similarly to the new TD Battler series of rods. So full AGS guide train of the new Gen 2 AGS all the way through to the tip. It's a 7'4" light plus. So it's quite a powerful rod in the butt section, designed to be able to set hooks from a long way away after you've made a really long cast on the flats. To enable you to make that long cast, of course, we've used our X45X full shield. We've also installed a solid tip onto this rod. So we've got a solid tip through here which loads up the unweighted plastics, allows you to make a long cast, and that strong butt section allows you to set the hook on a single hooked plastic a long way away. We've got the TD Battler reel seat, the new air beam, and in that Infeet cosmetic looks absolutely amazing. 7'4", butt jointed, light plus, solid tip. Absolutely awesome little rod. If you like fishing the flats with soft plastics, you'll absolutely love the Infeet Limited AGS. So that's it for the new Infeet additions. We've now got all of our new Dendoh rods which we've made to match the brand new Tanacom 1200. So we'll run a new clip of those Dendoh rods in action now, and we'll get down the other end and start talking deep drops.
Come on. Boy. We got him. Oh.
So of course we mentioned it when we were talking about the new Tanacom 1200, and you just saw the boys deep dropping in New Zealand. We've got a brand new range of deep drop rods, not just one, but 3 new ranges of Dendoh rods, including 2 Tanacoms and a brand new Seapower rod. I'm going to start with the Tanacom X. This is the most budget friendly option in the range. Perfect pair up with the Tanacom 1200. We've made these in 2 different styles. So there's a standard tip version, which is just a normal ring tip, and there's also a swivel tip version in 2 different models. So we've got an extra heavy and a double extra heavy, which feature different length bent butts depending on the gunnels that your boat has. You can grab the right bent butt. We've custom made these bent butts to be the exact right length to suit what the market wants here in Australia. We've listened to everyone over the past couple of years, fishing rods like our Grand Wave series, to make the new bent butts the perfect length for Australia. Tanacom X features sea guide components throughout the rod and a composite graphite blank to make it a really powerful rod with the right action. Pairs up with that new Tanacom, as I said, 4 different models of this series, identifiable by the full black bent butt. From there, we move up to a Tanacom Z. which indicates by the gold bindings and the gold highlights on the bent butt. Tanacom Z, you get a higher grade graphite component in the blank. Features our X45 technology, so that again resists the twisting. Really important for a Dendoh rod because they're always buckled over with that swivel tip. You want to make sure if the rod can resist the twisting, it's putting more force into fighting the fish for you, bringing that fish up faster. Fuji SIN2 guides, so Fuji guide train with the Alps heavy duty swivel tip. 2 models in the Tanacom Z series, they're only available in swivel tips. There's an XH and a double XH, again custom Daiwa bent butts indicated by that gold trim. That's the Tanacom Z series. And then the next new one is the very distinctive Seapower range of Dendoh rods. Blue and gold anodized custom Daiwa bent butt again. Spiral grip, very similar to what you're familiar with on the Saltiga Hyper range of rods. And Fuji IC gold silicon carbide rings, so very distinctive guide train, similar to what we run on our Seaborg rods, our flagship Dendohs. Those Fuji SICs, again with the Alps heavy duty swivel. 3 models in this range, 2 standard Dendoh rods with the bent butt in an extra heavy and a double extra heavy, which is what I've got here. And then the other rod, which is also replicated in the Tanacom X series, is really made for smaller Dendoh reels. Now, last year we announced the Seaborg 300 and they've started hitting stores now. And we've made 2 rods to pair up with that Seaborg 300. We've made a Tanacom X version and a Seapower version depending on your budget. These are very soft Dendoh rods designed for the 300 to fish PE 3 or 4. Very soft, very lightweight, designed to be held all day, not put in a gunnel like the bent butt rods. Designed to be held onto with the little 300. Really fun fishing. Going to open up a lot of options for elderly fishermen or disabled fishermen to be able to pick up one of the Seaborg electric reels, enjoy a pastime that we all love with the new Dendoh rods here that we've got. So Tanacom X and Seapower. So that's all the new Dendoh rods for us. There's one more rod I wanted to show you, which we mentioned before. Really cool little technique specific rod. That's the Presso range. So follow me down the wall and we'll talk about that. So I mentioned it just before when we were talking about the Presso 2000 SP, but that perfectly matches up with the new Presso rods, which will be hitting stores very soon. 4 models in the Presso range, all mid-join 2-piece rods featuring Fuji Fazlight guides. So anti-tangle shape stainless steel rings with that distinctive blue Fazlight ring. 5'6" or 6 foot in the Presso range, really designed for stream trout fishing. There's an ultralight and a light in each length. So there's an ultralight 5'6", a light 5'6", replicated in 6 foot lengths. Really insanely fun rods to fish with. If you love fishing the streams, walking the streams for trout, you're going to absolutely love the new Presso rods. And that's it for rods. We're going to get stuck into the new lures, including some of the stuff you saw on the walkthrough. So we'll get stuck into that now.
Let's go! Come on boys, big snappy energy.
Okay, so I alluded to it in the beginning of this video, but the BaitJunkie range is expanding to include a brand new range of jig heads. So this has probably been one of the biggest product developments we've done here at Daiwa, way more intense than I first imagined to make a a full extensive jig head range perfectly suited to the Australian market. 97 models of BaitJunkie jig head to start with, including both heavy wire, 2 extra strong wire option, and a finesse 0x wire option, both using BKK hooks and using Daiwa's Saxas plating technology. So we've got a BKK hook underneath with Daiwa's Saxas Teflon coating. Now that's a first for the industry. There's no other jig head on the market that has that Teflon coated hook. Took a lot of work to make sure that we could make that keeper stick to the shank. You're never going to have a keeper sliding up and down the shank ever again. That keeper design is probably what we're most proud of. Now that's version 27 of a grub keeper for a BaitJunkie jig head. And we toiled and toiled to make sure that you never have to pick up another tube of super glue from Bunnings to keep your jig head and your plastic together. So that grub keeper holds the plastics really, really well, butts them up to the head there, holds them absolutely perfectly. No more super glue required. BaitJunkie jig heads have that distinct, obviously white colour packaging to match the hooks, but packaging is something that I think is actually really cool. So Ziploc resealable bag, so you don't have to worry about emptying your jig heads into a container anymore. You can keep them in their bag, keep them sealed, keep them perfectly fresh, ready to go, chuck that bag in your tackle tray or a tackle bag and get to it. So make sure you look for the new BaitJunkie jig head range in stores later this year. As I said, absolutely stoked to be expanding BaitJunkie to include jig heads. It's been something we've been asked for a lot since we launched BaitJunkie a few years ago. I'm really excited to be launching them here at Afta 2022. As I said, a full assortment, so we've got everything from a 1/30th number 4 hook all the way through to a 2-ounce 8/0 hook. So whether you're a brim fisherman, a snapper fisherman, pearl perch, jewfish over in WA, we've got a jig head to suit the entire BaitJunkie range or any soft plastic on the market. You can pick up a BaitJunkie jig head and catch some of the best fish of your life. So BaitJunkie jig head, Saxas hook, awesome grub keeper. Make sure you check them out when they hit stores later this year. I want to talk to you about another great lure we've got now, Daiwa's first ever soft vibe, the Steez Soft Shell 90.
Oh, this is like Christmas. It's like opening my presents. I haven't seen these yet. They're new Steez Soft Shell Vibe. I'm pretty excited to be trying this for jewfish today. First drop on the bottom. And there's your little jewie. It's fun at any size, really. Yep.
Okay, so as I said, the brand new Steez Soft Shell 90, Daiwa's first soft vibe. Now again, this one's a little bit of a pet project of mine the last couple of years. I've had this idea to make a soft vibe, kind of hybrid to what I love fishing, which is a skirted jig for bass. I had this kind of idea that we're trying to imitate a crawfish or yabby. Soft vibe is a really popular style lure. A lot of people love throwing a soft vibe. And I thought, well, why not make a soft vibe that imitates a craw or yabby? So we started out with the body design. We wanted to make sure it had quite a broad base, so it sits on the bottom with upright position. The claws of the soft shell will float in that position, and they have a little paddle tail on the end of the arms. So as that lure sinks, the claws are working on their way down. Sinks really straight because of that, so it's a very straight sinking lure. It doesn't spiral like a lot of soft vibes on the market. We've got obviously the 2 antennas, eyes on the top, which some colours have really bright UV eyes as a bit of a bite signature. Comes in the pack fitted with 2 BKK Fang 63 treble hooks, so really strong 3 extra strong treble hooks, perfect for mulloway, snapper, barramundi, those kind of things. Also comes in the packet for our yellow belly friends with a set of stinger hooks. Now these are Daiwa's new Retrofit assists, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So you can whip off those treble hooks, throw in your stinger on either the bottom or the top eyelet, and fish for a yellow belly. That's a really popular method to fish yellow belly in impoundments. Shaking soft vibes on the bottom. They love fishing them with a stinger hook, so we've incorporated that into the box. Now the other cool feature of the soft shell is we've got multiple rigging options. So of course I've spoken about the stinger hooks. You can fish the trebles as it comes from the pack. You can also get a W hook or a double hook, fit it to the top eyelet here, and pinch the plastic on this little ridge we've put into the moulding here. So you can open up the double hook, put it over the lure, let it close again, it will pinch that little point, and it gives you two points here, perfectly situated at the back of the lure to fish it almost snagless through some really heavy timber. So if you're fishing for barra, threadies, stuff like that in heavy structure, you can pin that double hook around and fish it almost weedless. So lots of different ways to fish the soft shell. Weighs almost 20 grams, measures in at 90 mil to the tip of the antenna there, and it is available in 10 awesome colours. We've got some really natural ones for the salt water and some really bright and vivid colours for fresh water for the yellow belly. So absolutely awesome, stoked to finally finish this lure. It's been a long time coming, many years in the works. Hopefully you love it as much as we do. Brand new Steez Soft Shell 90. We've also got a bunch of other new lures which we'll talk about now, including an expansion to our Infeet range of lures. So we've got the new Infeet Sazanami, so that's a 60 mil shallow jerkbait. So Infeet Sazanami 60 SP, a really key addition to the Infeet range. So 60 mil, as I said, shallow diving, suspending jerkbait, awesome for the black brim down in Gippsland, Tasmania. That has Daiwa's silent gravity oscillation system, so very similar to the double clutch, which is what makes that lure so effective. Sazanami has that same system, so it casts really well, has an awesome erratic darting action, shallower diving than the double clutch 60, will only dive to a few feet, so perfect for fishing shallow flats like in Malakuta or Gippsland lakes. Comes in a host of awesome colours, including our new Adele foil pattern system. So Adele foil, really realistic foil that we've created at Daiwa. We've got a range of 12 colours, some of the best colours I think we make in some lures in that new Sazanami 60 SP. Speaking of colours, we've got new colours in almost every range of lures we do. So we have some expansions in Infeet rolling cranks. We've got some awesome new colour expansions in that. Something I'm really proud of, the new crab patterns. So we've got a new masking pattern on that. That one, red crab, absolutely probably one of my favourite colours we do now. Absolutely awesome. So we've got new colours in rolling crank DRs, new colours in rolling crank MRs. We've got some new colours in Spike 53s. So we've got some really awesome new additions to that range. We've got things like Weedy Suji that we put out in the double clutch 48. On the Spike 53 version of that colour, we've got some really cool little UV signatures on the head. So we've got some new colours in Spike 53, they're going to be popular, I'm sure. We've got new colours in the double clutch 115. So we've got some really nice, more Northern Australia kind of style, traditional barramundi type patterns. So bleeding mullet like this one, we've got some really awesome colours like pink head, citrus suji, tannin suji. We've got a really expansive range now of 115 colours, whether you're an impoundment barra fisherman or a wild barramundi fisherman up in Darwin. We've got the 115 colour to suit. Of course, they come standard with the BKK Viper 41 hooks, so really strong hooks, ready to fish straight out of the pack. On the rest of the double clutch front, we've got some new colours in the standard 60, 75 and the 95 double clutches. We've got 5 new colours in each of those ranges. This one here, natural ghost shad, really nice natural bait fish profile. We've got 5 new ones, including some people's favourite matte prawn, now available in double clutch ranges. We've got new Presso colours as well. So Presso, our trout lure series, we've got new colours in that one, obviously catered to that trout fishing market. Golden Retriever, this one here, probably going to be one of the most popular new additions to the Presso range. And as I mentioned before, they come standard in the pack with the soft shell 90s. We also now have retrofit assist hooks. So whether you're fishing a blade or fishing a slippery dog, we've now got replacement hooks for you in 3 different colours, 3 per pack. That's it for the lure range of the 2022 Afta stand. I'm going to jump across to the line wall now, talk about new line including J-thread fluorocarbon crosslink. Head over now. Okay, so we've moved over to the line corner of the Afta stand, and I've got with me the brand new J-thread fluorocarbon crosslink leader. Now, J-thread crosslink is a new technology we've developed. It's a revolutionary process where we're actually chemically changing the composition of the line. We're adding in molecular level bonds to the line. Sounds complicated, but all you really need to know is that it's stronger than the previous version for the same diameter and more abrasion resistant. So an expansion of the J-thread fluoro line. Of course, it comes with the elastic line tender that you're all familiar with. Crosslink FC is available from 4 to 20 pound in either a 70 or a 50 metre spool, and you can actually win a full set of the new J-thread FC crosslink just by commenting below in the comments what your favourite line to leader connection knot is. So for me, I love the Slim Beauty. What's your favourite knot? And you can win one of every spool of the new J-thread crosslink. That's going to be in stores really, really soon. Crosslink is not just in J-thread though, it's also in the Saltiga range of new fluorocarbon, and the Saltiga range is in the heavier sizes. So I've got the lightest one, 20, goes all the way up to 100 pound fluoro. So Crosslink's other really great feature is that it gives you a very supple leader material. So it's softer than a traditional fluorocarbon line. That crosslink method makes it really supple, so in heavier sizes, it's a real game changer for fluoro leader. So this Saltiga, from, as I said, 20 to 100 pound, whether you're barramundi fishing or saltwater fishing, ties a really exceptional knot and has that same abrasion resistance and the strength for the diameter that the J-thread crosslink does. All Saltiga crosslinks also come with the elastic line tender, and they're color coded as well for the size. So 20 pounds blue, and it changes colour as you go through, makes it nice and easy to pull out the right leader. There's also a new Saltiga Nylon range of leader. So monofilament nylon line, obviously perfect as a shock leader. So stick bait, fishing, jigging, those kind of really high impact fishing styles. Saltiga Nylon goes all the way up to 200 pound. So you've got a range from 20 up to 200 in the Saltiga Nylon line. So awesome new line additions from Daiwa. Of course, we're displaying the full range of J-Braid, Australia's #1 braided fishing line. So that's it for the line corner of the Afta stand. We're going to head over to the D-Box tackle storage system. I'm going to run you through the brand new range of tackle storage. Okay, so the Daiwa D-Box, really distinctive looking tackle storage system. We've developed a full range now. So we've got shallow, which is what I'm holding here, regular and deep versions in 3 different sizes, and a really cool jig head storage box, which we'll get into in a sec. So this is the medium shallow I'm holding here in my hand. I've got the small shallow there so you can see the different sizes. That's going to be awesome for terminal storage. Comes with plenty of different storage options. We actually really thought about how we measured out the base design of these. For Daiwa lures, we put in double clutches, spikes, to make the measurements to get as much tackle in here as we can, as many lures per box. Got one of the medium deep boxes here. These are really cool. They've got inbuilt spinnerbait storage clips here, so you can hang spinnerbaits down in here, all completely removable. So you can actually completely open up this box to be one single cavity, holds things like leader material or even spare parts and stuff like that. You can store anything you want in those deep boxes, so there's medium, small and a large deep version of those. And then as I said, we've got the LSU box. So we call this large shallow universal. And this is a really cool box for storage of hooks or terminal tackle. So it comes with 7 rows here of these silicone molded inserts. You can remove them, but they're nestled in there nicely. That's one of the new BaitJunkie Jig Heads. So silicone obviously doesn't absorb water, so it's not like one of the foam boxes that are on the market that if you do get water or you put a used hook back in there, it absorbs into that foam and rusts out your hooks really easily. Silicone doesn't hold any water, holds everything from an 8/0 hook to a number 4 hook, no problem. That silicone really gives, has no memory, so it doesn't flog out and become loose over time. Great option for jig heads, as I said, but even hooks, fishing bait rigs, we can rig up snell rigs and all sorts of stuff. You can have a full assortment of that inside the LSU box. Look for that distinctive green silicone color. So the D-Box range, going to be hitting stores late this year as well. Distinctive color, as I said, so make sure you look for that smoke lid. And that's the new D-Boxes. And then we'll jump over to apparel because I want to talk about the new UPF angler pants. So new UPF angler pants, they come in 2 colors. This is really something I'm very keen for. I always fish in long pants. I've already had a few skin cancers cut out of my ears and stuff like that, so always fish in long pants for me, and I really wanted a nice pair of fishing pants that were really lightweight, breathable, not too hot in a summer day. So the angler pants are made from a really nice material that's obviously UPF rated but also 4-way stretch, so you can really move around. If you drive a sit-down boat like I do, you're always getting up and down from the seat. You're not going to have any fatigue or anything uncomfortable with the pants throughout a long day fishing. Really lightweight, really breathable, elastic waist with an inbuilt belt, come in a range of different sizes in obviously the black and the khaki colours. And that's the new angler pants. Okay, that's it for the run around of the Daiwa stand at Afta 2022. We've run through everything. Remember to come down if you're in the Gold Coast or Brisbane area to the public day, Saturday the 6th of August, 10 AM to 3 PM. You can grab one of the new Daiwa catalogues, grab a few giveaways that we're doing on the day, enter the competitions, do the lure painting, do the BaitJunkieCatch Instagram post. If you can't make it, remember there's 3 giveaways for tonight. You can win one of the new Maverick MQs by telling us what fish species you'd like to catch on the new Maverick MQ. You can win one of the new TD Battler rods by commenting down below where you want to fish in the world with one of the new TD Battlers. And you can also win a full set of the new J-Thread FC crosslink leader material by commenting down below what your favourite line to leader knot connection is. So that's it for Afta. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're in the area, make sure you come down to the public day. If you're not, I hope you loved this video. We're going to be here for the next few days. Thanks very much for watching. All the info is on the new Daiwa Fishing website, www.dailwafishing.com.au. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next time.